Brooklyn ain't just bricks, blood, and bullets no more. Nah, now it's sweet. We talking Brooklyn Bloodlines candy. The only candy tough enough to sit at the table. Mikey the Hammer Fudge Bar. One bite, you're down for the count. Hazelnut, dark chocolate, espresso crunch. Forget about it. Red Velvet Vendetta Taffy. Soft, chewy, with a hit that comes out of nowhere. Like a friendly tap that turns into a left hook. Concrete jungle lollipops. Hard as the streets, sweet as the score. They last longer than a sit-down with Goku D'Angelo. Cannoli Crunch bites, bite-sized, but pack more power than a capo in a Cadillac. Ricotta Cream Center. Forget about it. Brooklyn Bloodlines candy. One taste, you're made. Don't be a gavone eating them store-bought Mook's candy. Get yourself a piece of the empire. Brooklyn Bloodlines candy. Ask your bookie today.
Muggs, what the fuck you doing in there, you prick?
The Fall of Dracula. The strange, haunting disappearance of Joseph Guglielmo. A Pizzaverse Studios historical documentary. Written by Bambi Palermo. Narrated by Vincent Vinny DiPrio. The Cousin in the Shadows. In the late 1970s and early 1980s, New York City was a chessboard of criminal empires. The Gambino family ruled the streets, but one subgroup operated like a rogue machine, colder and deadlier than the rest, the Roy DeMeo Crew. Their reign was marked by brutality, efficiency, and the infamous Gemini method, a killing assembly line so refined it terrified even other mobsters. But this story ain't about Roy, ain't about Testa or Center, ain't about the hundreds of men who died at the hands of the Gemini crew. This is about Joseph Guglielmo, a quiet, pale, peculiar young man, Roy's real-life cousin, and the one they nicknamed Dracula. He didn't kill, he didn't extort, he didn't run rackets, but he watched, he listened, he lingered around the wrong shadows. This is the long, uncut documentary of how a cousin with an obsession for death wandered into a world that devours the weak and became one of organized crime's strangest and most haunting disappearances. Who was Dracula? Joseph Guglielmo grew up around the DeMeo family, but he wasn't in the life. He was family, but not family. And that distinction means everything. While most kids his age played stickball, Dracula wandered cemeteries. Where other youths went to dances, he visited funeral homes. He had a fascination with the dead that wasn't normal, not even by Brooklyn standards. Locals said he hung around graveyards after dark, studied corpses at the funeral parlor, asked unsettling questions about death, stared too long at bodies during wakes. Even the DeMeo crew, men who dismembered bodies weekly, said that kid gives me the creeps. And when you creep out serial killers, that's an accomplishment. Enter the Gemini method. Roy DeMeo's crew ran a slaughterhouse disguised as a social club. By 1975, they perfected the Gemini method, a step-by-step system for killing, bleeding, dismembering, bagging, dumping. The operation was mechanical, clinical, soulless, and Dracula. He didn't do the killing, but he became fascinated with the aftermath. He asked too many questions. He tried to hang around during cleanup. He poked his head where it didn't belong, and that made the real killers nervous. The talker in a world of silence. The mafia ain't scared of killers. They're scared of talkers. Dracula wasn't violent, he wasn't tough, he wasn't sharp, but he was curious, socially awkward, mentally unstable, unable to control what he said. He started repeating things in bars, it's on corners, to girlfriends, to strangers, little comments, innocent sounding, but deadly to the wrong people. Guys in the crew told Roy, he's saying too much. He's hanging around too close. He's got to go. When blood doesn't save you, Roy DeMeo loved his family, but he loved control more. And Dracula crossed a line you don't cross. He became a liability. Once you know too much in that world, there are only two outcomes. 1, you get straightened out. 2, you get straightened out of existence. And Dracula wasn't getting made. Roy didn't hesitate. His cousin had to disappear. The vanishing of Dracula. One day in the early 1980s, Joseph Guglielmo simply vanished. No body, no grave, no funeral, nothing, just gone. Law enforcement logged him as a missing person, but insiders, even decades later, all tell the same story. Roy approved the hit. The crew carried it out. Dracula was killed quietly. His remains were disposed of in true Gemini fashion. He became just another ghost of the DeMeo machine. Except his ghost lingered. The paranoia era, the aftermath of killing family. Once Dracula was gone, something changed inside Roy. He crossed a sacred line. Killing informants is one thing. Killing enemies is expected. Killing your own cousin? That shakes even a stone-cold killer. Crew members said Roy got jumpy, paranoid, unpredictable, distrustful even of loyal soldiers. They saw him kill blood. That means nobody was safe. The psychological fallout was massive. This was one of the first cracks in Roy DeMeo's delusional armor. The domino collapse. Dracula's disappearance triggered a chain reaction. The FBI noticed yet another associate vanished. Crew members started distancing themselves. Murders ramped up. Paranoia in the family spread. Nino Gaggi began questioning Roy's stability. The Gambino administration got nervous. When you start knocking off family members, bosses start looking at you sideways. Admiral Impeach's Iron Fist pasta sauce. The sauce that conquers continents. You ever eat a bowl of rigatoni and think, this could use more global domination? Well, now you can, with Admiral Impeach's Iron Fist pasta sauce, made from real tomatoes grown in embargo zones and simmered down with top-secret military spices. One bite? Boom, you'll be planning invasions from your kitchen table. Features. Explosive flavor, detonates on your tongue like a 50-megaton meatball. Classified ingredients. Even the FDA ain't cleared to know what's in it. Battle-tested recipe. Perfected on submarines, backrooms, and meetings that never made the papers. Mikey the Hammer. I put this sauce on my steak once. The steak tapped out. Nick Palermo. I spilled a jar on my shirt and 3 guys declared me their capo. Lopez. Legally, I gotta say don't buy it. But unofficially, best damn sauce I ever used to bribe a judge. Special offer. Order 2 jars today and get a complimentary ceasefire breadsticks. They'll stop any argument in its tracks. Admiral impeaches Iron Fist pasta sauce. This ain't Nonna's recipe, unless Nonna ran Black Ops. The decision to kill Dracula planted seeds of distrust that blossomed into full-blown chaos. Roy's own end. By 1983, the DeMeo Crew imploded. Informants flipped. Phones were tapped. Bodies piled up. Feds closed in. Gotti wanted the heat gone. Nino was panicking. On a cold January night, Roy was found. In the trunk of his Cadillac. Wrapped in a carpet. Shot repeatedly. The crew that once worshipped him now feared him more than the law. Dracula wasn't the only ghost haunting him, but he was one of the first. FBI files, interviews, and the secret they never talk about. In later years, informants and law enforcement interviews quietly confirmed what the streets already knew. Joseph Dracula Guglielmo was murdered. Not a random removal. Not a disappearance. A sanctioned execution. Agents later admitted, "We believed DeMeo killed his cousin. We could never prove it." Why wasn't Dracula included in indictments? Because no remains. No witnesses. No paper trail. No informant willing to touch that subject. Too sensitive, too taboo, even for killers. Some secrets stay buried deeper than bodies. Psychological profile. The kid who watched too closely. Dracula's story is rare because he wasn't a mobster, just related. He wasn't a killer, just fascinated. He wasn't dangerous, just unstable. But in the underworld, that's enough to get you killed. Psychologically, he was morbidly curious, socially disconnected, drawn to death, unable to understand boundaries, lacked situational awareness, lacked emotional filters. The DeMeo Crew feared him not because of what he did, but because of what he might do. In the Mafia, someday is a death sentence. The lesson in blood. Joseph Guglielmo's death is one of the most unusual mob killings ever recorded. Not because of how it happened, that part was predictable, but because of why. He didn't betray. He didn't testify. He didn't run his own racket. He didn't steal. He simply talked too much. And looked too long at a world that demands silence and blind obedience. The Mafia didn't fear his fists. They feared his mouth. The ghost who changed a crew. Joseph Dracula Guglielmo is an invisible footnote in mob history. Most documentaries ignore him. Most books barely mention him. But those who truly study the DeMeo Crew know. His death was one of the early tremors that signaled the earthquake coming. He represents the danger of curiosity, the brutality of loyalty's limits, the instability of the DeMeo Empire, the moral rot at its core, and most of all, in the mob, blood is not thicker than silence. This has been a Pizzaverse Studios exclusive documentary. Written by Bambi Palermo. Narrated by Vincent DePreo. If you want more deep dives into real mob history, psychological breakdowns, and the dark stories other channels are too scared to touch, subscribe to Bambi Palermo, Pizzaverse Studios. Like, comment, and share to boost the empire. Hit the bell so you never miss the next documentary. Follow the Pizzaverse, where truth gets dug up, dusted off, and told right. Because around here, cupcakes, we don't miss. We expose. We educate. We entertain. We dominate. See you at the next one.
There's smoke in the sky again, so I'm getting high again. Take another hit to the diaphragm. I never drew the diagram, how to deal with this shit, so I still and lie again. Whoa, you're my dream, you're my nightmare. Life is a bitch, she don't fight fair. Leave you right there, I was hoping that you'd notice my despair. Run away from the pain, I don't care. Cause first day in sight, the violence. Turn around and then day in fight, the silence. Burn it down and I think I need some guidance. The kids don't stand a chance. No, the kids don't stand a chance. Old man trouble back again, fucking up my plans like oh no, oh no. I'm back to the black again, getting fucked up again, oh no, oh no. Old man trouble back again, thought I had the upper hand, oh no, oh no. I'm back to the black again, getting fucked up again, oh no, oh no. This cycle is repetitive, sex, rock and roll sedatives. Degenerates need medicine, spend money for the hell of it. I don't give a fuck what they selling like I'm celibate, no. And I know I'm a piece of shit, should've learned by now. Peace needed quick or a piece of it. In school they ain't teaching it, each of us trying to find release, but it seems a bit slow. First day in sight, the violence. Turn around and then they invite the silence. Burn it down, I think I need some guidance. The kids don't stand a chance. No, the kids don't stand a chance. Old man trouble back again, fucking up my plans like oh no, oh no. I'm back to the black again, getting fucked up again, oh no, oh no. Old man trouble back again, thought I had the upper hand, oh no, oh no. I'm back to the black again, getting fucked up again, oh no, oh no. I drink, smoke, whatever you selling, I'm a sick joke. My president's a felon and I can't cope. I'm in love with the pain, so I stick poke with my kin.